Okay, our second story is called The Witch Woman. And it also comes with a single picture. Here we go. There's our witch woman. Freaky stuff. This is courtesy of down south, where I guess they were frequently had crazy fits of imagination. It caused them to think of very creepy stuff. So this story, I'm going to just summarize it because it's pretty lengthy. But basically, let's see, I'm going to read the introduction. Here, freshly told for this book, is a tale over generations that sent delightful shivers down the back of many a young Southerner. Told at night by the dying fire, the story of a witch can still exert a powerful spell. So, okay, basically the setup is this. There's a fellow who's really hungry. And, of course, you know, back in those days, I guess, men didn't really cook because they were kind of pathetic. But he was really, really hungry and he didn't know what to do. So, of course, you know, he falls for the first woman willing to cook him dinner. Unfortunately, and she cooks really well. She cooks very, very well. Says he ate, and it was all so good that he stayed in the cabin for days. He finally got so fat of the grease ran out of his jaws whenever he looked up at the sun and that handsome yellow woman. Why, she spent all her time cooking for him and waiting on him, so he finally just couldn't help himself. He married her. So, okay, no, we're not going to say that. Okay, story to be told. Okay, for a time they got along well. After a while, he began to notice that if he got up in the middle of the night, like to go to the bathroom or whatever you do when you wake up in the middle of the night, sometimes his bride was not there. Where was she? She didn't seem to be in the house. And so he became suspicious, and he decided that what he would do is that he would pretend to be asleep and then see what she did. And so I'm going to read. That night he lay down as usual in the big four-poster bed in the corner and pretended that he had gone to sleep, but he was really watching his wife out of the corner of one eye. After a while, he pretended to snore. Then she jumped up and patted a juba dance in the middle of the floor. After that, she took a big gridiron down off the wall and raked it full of hot coals and hauled her spinning wheel over close to it. Then she sat down on the gridiron. When it had grown red hot, she began to spin her skin right off her body with the spinning wheel, staring at the top of her head. As she did, she sang, "Turn and spin, come off skin, turn and spin, come off skin." It probably looked a lot like this. Yeah. So, crazy stuff. You don't want to, probably not his wife in her best look. But okay, so as he watched, she spun her entire skin off her body, easy as shucks off an ear of corn. And when it was all off, she was revealed as an enormous tawny yellow cat. She took the skin and chucked it under the bed. All right, lay there, skin, she told it, with that fool husband of mine snoring in the bed. Until I come back, I'm going to have some fun. So presumably she went out to, I don't know, knock over trash cans, eat birds, the sort of stuff that cats do, I expect. So the great cat leapt through the window and loped off into the night. As soon as she was gone, the man jumped out of bed. He took the skin and filled it full of salt and pepper. Ooh. For now he knew that he had married a witch woman. Ooh. Then he crept out the back and watched through the keyhole. After a while, the witch woman came home, still a cat. She laughed as she pulled out the skin and began shaking herself into it. Suddenly, she began to scream. She moaned, she groaned. They could hear her from a mile away. She wasn't able to get out of that skin, and while the man watched through the keyhole, she fell down on the floor and died. So, okay, that's pretty whacked out stuff.